So you're ready to start planning your OpenPipe kit. You probably already have some problem in mind that you want to solve. You can't always be everywhere, and you want to be able to see what is going on in a particular location. You're going to use a pipe to pipe that data to you when you're away. So usually a good way to get started is to check out the examples. Go to openpipekit.org and click on examples. Here you'll find different examples of how people have solved their problems with OpenPipeKit using different sensors and different databases and things like that. If you don't find anything that fits your exact need there, the next place to go would be to go straight to the configurator. Configurator is the application online that we use to configure our OpenPipe kits. It says we select what sensor that we're going to plug in, how often to take data, and where to send that data. So if I look through this first screen in the configurator, I can see that there is a device called sensor tag, which senses temperature, humidity, pressure, accelerometer, gyroscope, and magnetometer. I see a bunch of other temperature sensors, Yuctopus USB. That one's simple because it just plugs in via the USB, just plug and play. The Raspberry Pi that we use in OpenPipeKit has a temperature sensor inside of it. That's good mostly if you want to find out if something's really hot, hotter than the Raspberry Pi. You'll see values above that. Otherwise, it's just the temperature of the Raspberry Pi. It's like, above room temperature because it's a computer. There's other more, these one-wire sensors. They require some like soldering and some electronics knowledge. So there's like a whole broad spectrum of sensors in here. And you can look through this and kind of figure out like which one makes sense for my problem. What do I need to sense? Do I need to sense how hot it is somewhere, or what the pressure is somewhere, or whether it's wet somewhere, or these various things. So let's say I figured out the sensor that I wanted. We're just going to pick the USB sensor here. And now it's going to ask me what database. So now I would need to figure out, okay, given my problem, I'm going to be, let's say I'm going to be at work, and I'm not going to be at that location, and I want to be able to see trends in something and be able to see like over time, like how does something change. So saving it in something like a Google Sheet is a good option for that, because then I can later then graph the data in the Google Sheet. So I could be able to say like, take this temperature sensor and in my basement graph out the temperature over time. Another interesting option is like this, sending it to this thing called FIDO. When we select FIDO, we see that we can give it a minimum and maximum. So if it detects a value outside of the min and max, it will send us an email. So if I'm at work or I'm not around and I want an alert that something has gone out of a range and all my plants are going to die, or my pets are suffering, or my house is on fire, not really a good use case for this, but any of those things, this is another interesting option. Some of these other ones are for more technical folks, like CouchDB is good for web app developers. You want a whole bunch of sensors all connected and build a dashboard out of that, or something like that. Data is a really cool project for version data. So if you have very large data sets that you're collaborating with other people and things like that, that's a really cool option. SparkFun I made this thing called Fant, which is a pretty cool service that you can send data to. It allows you to see it remotely on the internet at a particular URL, and then later, if you want, download it as a CSV and analyze it in whatever ways you want. So these are just a couple of the options. The most simple option, obviously, is the just putting it on your USB drive. So when we finish configuring this, it's going to give us a file that we put on this USB drive that we then plug into our Raspberry Pi, because we have to deliver the program, this configuration. And what this option will do is save the data that it's collecting from the sensor just on this USB drive, so that when later we pull this out and plug it into our computer, there's a file on there that we can open in like Excel or Google Sheets or LibreOffice or any of those other spreadsheet programs. So these are just some ideas of how you might be able to solve your problem with the different integrations that we have for OpenPipeKit. If you're a programmer and you don't see the one that you need on here, Check out the OPK Hackpad. We have lots of info on how to develop drivers. You can develop it in any language you want, by the way. It's all pretty straightforward. Pull or push, you're either developing one of those two things. Lastly, if you have a question for us, feel free to check out our chat or check out our forum and ask questions. Like we're there for you. We're trying to solve the same problem. So look forward to hearing from you, and thanks for watching.